everybody. My name's Sarah. Let's get started in easy sit Sukhasana. So you're seated, you can be crisscross applesauce, half lotus, full lotus, where you would just find the foot in the hip crease, maybe one side, maybe both. And settle in. I want everybody to just sink and soften into the sits bones. If you need to remove like the fleshy parts from underneath your bones, just get real comfortable. Find a space where it's easy to sit for about a minute or two. Let go of your day, let go of your week, let go of any distractions that might be around you. Maybe a pet, maybe a child. And just allow yourself to be completely here with me. We'll take our hands to our heart. And I want you to breathe into your palm. There's really no wrong way to do this. Sometimes when we start to find a yoga practice or when we start to meditate, we need touch points with the breath. It's just a tool to get us back to the present moment so we can feel the breath, feel the pulse underneath the palm of our hands. We're taking deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's take 5 more of these big belly breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Beautiful. And on your last one, let's flicker the eyes open. Take your hands to your lap. Thumb and forefinger, this is just symbolic of a mudra. In yoga, one of the most amazing benefits is the mind-body connection. So this is just symbolic of that piece that we're trying to find. So thumb and forefinger, this is a mudra, symbolic of the mind, the body connecting. On your next inhale, take your shoulders up to your ears, squeeze, 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 like feel everything really tense. And then on your out breath, release. Let's do that again. Squeeze, 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 squeeze your hands, pull your ears to your shoulders, and then exhale, release. Interlace your hands at your lap. Inhale, push the walls away, push your palms towards me. Take it all the way up. Full body stretch from your tailbone to your crown, and then exhale over to the left. Gaze can turn up if it feels good, neutral if it doesn't. Coming back up to center. On your out breath, tuck your chin. We're looking for a stretch in the cervical spine, maybe even between the shoulder blades. Inhale back up, and exhale, reach over to the right. Coming back up to seated, we'll find our way into box pose where we stack the joints, your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your elbows and your shoulders. Inhale, open to cow. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis, cat. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. One more time, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. You need to turn your wrists around so that your fingers are towards your knees. Curl underneath your toes and shift your hips back. Getting a nice wrist stretch. And then turn your wrists to the left and the right. And we'll take some big circles here, moving left, right, up, and then back. Switching directions. Beautiful. And your hands will plant, curl under your toes. And we'll slowly start to walk our hands all the way up so we're standing on our knees. Giving our toes a nice stretch. The inner arches take a beating, especially when we introduce cardio and other forms of exercise, whether that's lifting or strength, HIIT, if you did HIIT or cycling. The heels really take a beating, and the heels are kind of like the windows to the hips. So if you're not taking care of the inner arches of your feet, your hips might be suffering too. So let's sit your hips back on your heels. And we'll set up our deep diaphragmatic breath. This is Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is my favorite of all of the different yoga modality breaths. I really love it because it makes me really hone in on where I feel and hear my breath. So those touch points, that's meditation kind of in movement. So when you took your hands to your heart at the beginning of class, you're taking that deep breath in, but you're not only feeling it in your nostril rings and your belly, you're also feeling it in your hand. You might feel your heartbeat. But for Ujjayi breath, you're constricting the back of your throat, so you're feeling this like soft wave of breath behind your voice box, behind your larynx. We're like flicking on and off a valve, and that's that Darth Vader-y sound. Imagine that you're trying to fog up a mirror and your hand is in front of your face, but your mouth is closed. So it's a beautiful, and you feel this in your ears, you feel it in the back of your throat. Some people even feel it resonating in the chest. And let's just take a couple of those deep diaphragmatic breaths. By constricting the back of the voice box, you're kind of flipping the script and making it Ujjayi. Deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, your chest. Pause at the top. Exhale through the nose, constrict the back of your throat. And it might be super loud. It might just be like a tiny whisper of an Ujjayi breath. Either way, beautiful place to be. Let's take 3 more of these. And my toes are starting to feel funky, so let's take the toes to the mat and sit down on your heels. 3 more Ujjayi breaths in through the nose. Last 2. And last one. Beautiful. Let's come back to quadruped, all fours, and focus on what Ujjayi breath can do. It gives us power. Extend your left leg, right arm. Deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, your chest. And on your out breath, take your right hand out beside you, your left leg out beside you. Beautiful. Inhale, swing it back to center. Exhale, expel all that air. Inhale up. Beautiful. And exhale, palm down, knee down. Opposite side, right foot extends, left arm extends, thumb up. Deep breath. Deep breath out. Inhale, lengthen and extend. Exhale, take it out to side. Beautiful. Inhale, extend, and then you're out. Walk back up onto your knees, and we'll turn towards the wide angle of our mat. Extend your right leg beside you for gate pose. Teeing out our arms, we flip the left palm and take the right hand to the right shin or calf. And Parigasana is one of my favorite poses. It's like you're making a little gate for yourself, and it feels energy line feeling. Left hip point all the way out your left fingertips. Accentuated with breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink and soften. Maybe turn your gaze up. We've been doing a lot of oblique work lately, a lot of hip stuff. This will help open and counter all of that. Inhale, come up, and we'll take a half happy baby. So this is just another take on happy baby. Some people call it a half straddle. Instead of on the supine, you're just on your belly. Beautiful, let's come back up. Close it, take your knees together, and we will come all the way up. Extend your left leg out beside you, toes point towards me. Tee out your arms. Flip your right palm, inhale, up, 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 and over. Parigasana, gate pose. Gaze you choose, it can be up for a challenge. You can also keep it neutral or look down. Beautiful, coming back up, teeing out your arms. This time we shoot our hips back. Keep your left leg rooted, and then take your hands out as your hips go back. You might need to walk your left foot out, depending on your flexibility today. Back through center. Let's turn towards the front of the mat and curl under your toes for downward facing dog. 5 breaths here in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Down dog is an inversion. If you have any shortness of breath or lightness in the head, drop your knees and shift your hips back to child's pose. If you don't, stay with me and breathe in your down dog, belly in, hips high. Toes planted, maybe heels planted. You can also keep a generous bend in the knees. We really want to facilitate a heightening of the tailbone and a constriction of your belly. Beautiful. From here, inhale, bend the knees, look forward. On your out breath, let's just take a gentle walk to the top of our mat. Halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Coming all the way up to standing, we'll all the way at the top. Hands at your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. Back to downward facing dog we go. Step the right foot in between the hands, back knee down, top of the back foot down. Inhale, Aljanayasana, this is crescent lunge. It's a modification of a crescent lunge. I always like to start here. If you've been coming for a while and you have a full crescent, you're more than welcome to go there. But this is just a nice place to start. And sometimes the loudest isn't always the one we need, you know? We go to yoga and we think that we just want to be the best at the pose, but then we get to yoga and we know that we need sometimes modification for poses. For me, this just feels better. Hands to your thigh, interlace and make a basket. Inhale, look up. This will be quite intense in the psoas. On your exhale, tuck your chin, slightly pull your pelvis under, and you'll feel this from about your left hip point all the way down to your knee. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. And from here, we'll take the back toes to the mat. Now we find a runner's lunge. Shoulder blades, back pockets. Drop your back knee, top of the foot down, left hand plants. And we're taking this right arm all the way back. You can tuck it into the hip crease. You can also take this foot to hand for a bind. Gaze can follow your back foot, looking over your right shoulder. And we'll slowly release out of this. Back to your box pose. Let's take some big circles again. Finding those spaces where we might glitch, like right here, and leaning into and sending your breath there. Back to center, curl under your toes, down dog. Left foot steps up. Back knee down, top of the back foot down. Inhale, Aljanayasana, rise up. We're rooted through the 3 corners of the left foot and the right knee and the right top of the foot. But we're lifted from the hips all the way up. You can lean into the psoas here if it feels okay to you. You can also stay more of a 90-90. Interlace your hands, put them right at the top of your thigh. Inhale, look up. Exhale, tuck your chin. Slowly tuck the bowl of the pelvis, almost like there's a bowl of water in the pelvis that you don't want to spill. These are intentional movements, being very mindful of where our body is in space. Inhale, look up. Let's plant both hands, curl under the back toes, runner's lunge. Get your knee and your thigh up off of the floor. For a more intense runner's lunge, you can also keep the knee down, top of the foot down. Keeping the knee down, top of the foot down, right hand plants, left arm reaches to the sky. From here, you can keep tracing it back. Maybe bend the back leg, grab your foot, gaze over your left shoulder. It's a very intense hamstring stretch. If you don't need to go that far, sometimes you just don't need it. So listen to your body, be your own teacher here. What's that saying? It's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Beautiful breath, release. And plant your hands. Both knees go back. Big toes touch. Knees go wide. Let's take a couple moments here in child's pose. Forehead down, maybe one ear down, just to breathe and rest. If you need an extra shoulder opener, you can take your elbows, cinch them in just a bit, palms touching, take them up over your head. Beautiful breath. Take both your hands over to the left, right ear down. If you've lost track of your Ujjayi breath, I invite you to pull it back in here to the moment. Remember the deep belly breath, and then constrict the back of your larynx for that oceany breath sound. Let's take it over to the right. Left palm over the right palm, full body stretch along the rib cage. The intercostals are starting to open. And we'll come back to center. Meet me in downward facing dog. We'll take a couple sun salutations just to warm up the spine and continue to warm up our hips. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. On your out breath, walk or float. You're at the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. We'll speed it up for just a bit. Exhale, Yoga Mudra, hands behind you, forward fold. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, forward fold, down we go again. Coming up is our next chaturanga. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk or floated back, high to low push-up. With your knees either on or off the mat, find your back bend. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or float, you're at the top of your mat. Again, inhale, half lift. And exhale, Uttanasana. Coming through chair, moving all the way to standing. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. We're taking it back to our chaturanga. On the knees or off the knees, up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Beautiful. From here, step the right foot in between the hands. Dial down the back foot. Warrior one. We have a beautiful, generous bend in this front leg. Your hips are towards the front of the house. Belly is engaged. Ribs are knitted back. Your arms are up. Exhale, warrior two. Equal amount of weight in both feet. Hips are underneath your shoulders. Your gaze is forward. Flip your front palm, reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. And then on a slow and steady exhale, we find side angle. I like to call this baby side because it's very easy to get into. All it is an elbow to thigh connection. If you've been coming for a while and you have flexibility in the hip, put your hand down, top arm up or over. You can also find a bind here. Maintain equal amount of weight in both feet. If you feel like you're shifting forward, put some weight in the outside edge of your left foot. Top hand and core pull you up. And exhale, straight arms, straight legs. Come back down, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Same arms here. So we're straight arm energy. Straight, long, lean lines. Top arm and core pull you up again. Exhale, twist to the front. Take both hands down. Frame your right foot. This is pyramid pose, Parshvakonasana. Your hip points are square. Your right hip point pulls back and you just feel that instantly in the hamstring. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the back leg. Exhale, pop it up. You're in a forward fold, top of your mat. Separate your feet about mat width distance. Right hand plants. Inhale, left arm up. You can pop a leg, a knee if it feels good. And we'll switch sides. Left hand down, right arm up. Beautiful. And then both hands down, connect opposite elbows this way. Pop your feet together and bone by bone roll all the way up. We'll take it on the left side. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant your hands. Either take a vinyasa here or simply step it back to down dog. Step the left foot in between the hands, dial down the back foot, warrior one. Again, we have equal amount of weight in both feet. Your arms are up. And your hips are towards the front of the house. Exhale, hands move through heart, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Open up through both of your hips. So we're wide open here in the hips and the heart. Stack your joints, shoulders over your hips. Gaze forward. Inhale, flip your front palm, reach up and back, reverse. Exhale, baby side. Maybe all the way into your side angle, your full expression of Parshvakonasana or Uttita Parshvakonasana. Uttita just means extended. Exhale, look down, inhale, come up, star. Walk your back foot up just a bit, but keep it at 45 degrees. Exhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Left hand down, right arm up, straight line, strongest line. Top hand and core pull you up. Frame your hips over your leg. So we're looking for almost a squaring of the pelvis over this front leg. Pulling your left hip point back will facilitate that movement. It might be pretty intense if your gait's really wide. Pull your back leg up just a bit. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward, bend the back knee. Exhale, pop it up, top of your mat. Come all the way to standing. All right, for our standing balance today, we're moving into half moon. We'll take this left knee into the chest. Roll your ankle, switch directions. Let's take our knee, I'll face you, and if you need a wall to facilitate balance, that's okay too. We have this left knee into the chest, left hand to knee, right hand to hip, pull it out, and bring it back in. Rooted through the three corners of the right foot, bring it out, and pull it in. We'll take it out, and then pull it back in. Plant both feet. We'll do that with the opposite side, just to facilitate ball and socket joint mobility like you're lubricating the joints. So left hand to hip, right hand to knee. Inhale out and exhale in. Belly pulls in almost automatically as you pull this out. And bring it in. And we'll take some circles right and left. Okay, so for half moon, let's step the left foot back. Tee out your arms, breathe in. On your out breath, we find triangle again. Triangle is a great pose to get into half moon because your shape is already there. So if you're ever in a group class and half moon, you need a modification for it, hang out here. A lot of the same benefits: open pelvis, open chest, open heart. It's easier on the joints. Micro bend this front knee. Plant your right hand at about 2 o'clock. Take flight, lift off. Left foot flex. This is half moon pose. It's a wobbly one. I want us to make sure that our hips and our heart is open, even if that means taking this lever down of the left leg. So this is half moon. This is half moon. And this is half moon. There's always somewhere to go. If you've been working on balance, I invite you to take this right hand up off the earth. If you're working more on flexibility today, I invite you to bend the top leg, reach around, catch a bind, top hand to top foot. If you caught the foot, push out through the top of the foot, leverage the hips, take some time here to open. Beautiful breath. And we'll land this in runner's lunge. When you're ready, just for a little recovery here, drop the back knee, take it down to lizard. Taking your time to get out of that if you need time to get out of that lunge. All right, and we'll pop up onto our hands, curl under the back toes, downward facing dog just to kind of flush out everything. Take the hips right, take the hips left, take the hips up. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or float top of your mat. And we'll slowly come all the way up. This time we step our right foot back. Hips open to your right side of your room. Arms tee out, exhale, triangle pose. We're here again. Bend this left leg just a little bit. Take your left hand to about 11 o'clock. On fingertips or palm, we open up, harden hips. Ardha Chandrasana, this is half moon. Right foot is flexed, toes drive up towards the kneecap. Hip keeps driving open towards the side wall. Maybe you catch a bind. Maybe you just find a balance today. Either way, breathing through the uncomfortable. Beautiful. And coming out of this, we're softly landing in runners to lizard to forearms. And we'll stay here for big, deep belly breaths. Let's take 3 of them. Beautiful. Pop up onto your hands again. Step the front foot back. Downward facing dog. From here, drop your knees. And we'll come all the way to our belly. All right, tee out your arms. Feet are down. We'll take our left ear to the mat and roll the weight of the body, especially the weight of the right leg over. Your right knee's bent, your left leg's extended. And your right fingertips can be on the mat, or you can take this hand behind you to wherever it lands. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Let's roll back through center. We'll take it on the opposite side. Tee out your right arm, right ear down. Then your left knee, open up. So your left foot is on the floor and your right leg's extended. This left knee's bent. Starting to quiet down the mind, quiet down the body for these mat portion of our class. We're moving into yin. So we'll be holding each pose for a significant amount of time. If you need to pop out and move, please do so. Otherwise, try to find stillness with each and every breath. And come back to center. Push up. And we'll take our left foot forward first for half pigeon, back knee down, tuck the back foot down. Flex as deep as you can into the left foot. Slowly start to fold forward. I'm using my clock today, so I make sure that we have equal amount of time on each side. That's very important. And your 2 minutes here begins now. Settle into the bones. Use your breath as a guide. About 40 more seconds here. Deep breath in through your nose. And out through your nose. Start to flick your eyes open. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. And we'll scooch to the left. Bring the right leg up. And we'll go right into the opposite side. Back knee down, top of the back foot down. Flex deep through the right foot. Get situated first. And then on a slow exhale, we start to fold. I'm going to exit this pose just for a moment. Stay with it, stay with your breath in the shape of a half pigeon. Being very mindful of where that breath is being felt in the body. Can we be feeling it in the belly, the ribs, the chest, and also through the nostril rings? Maybe even that touch point with the back of the throat for your ujjayi. deep breaths here. You have about 1 minute left. If you have places that are uncomfortable, I invite you to visualize the breath moving there, and also using it as a tool to facilitate better breath control and present moment awareness. More hyper aware of tension in the body, sometimes it makes it easier for us to send breath there because we can locate it. And right now, it's the hip. Beautiful. Let's take our hands underneath our shoulder. Now we'll rock the body to the right. We'll take both of our feet in front of us. Both feet are flexed. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. You can have a little bend in your knees. On a slow exhale, we're just folding over our legs. This is caterpillar. A lot of times you'll see forward folds where everything's real active and tight. That's Paschimottanasana. So right now, our goal is not to get the deepest in a forward fold. Our goal is to find the deepest release in a forward fold. So it's very passive. You don't really have to do much. Look for places of tension along the backs of the legs and in the neck and the thoracic spine, and see if we can send some breath there to say it's okay, you relax, it's time to rest. So if your feet flop out, that's okay. Think the opposite of rigid, loose, relaxed, passive, little to no muscular engagement, which is the opposite of what we kind of learn. Let go. Beautiful. Inhale, look up, and on your out breath, release your feet. All right, bound ankle pose, heels together and your toes are together. So it looks somewhat like this. And find some movement here, and on your next breath in, we'll find some stillness. Straight spine, sternum lifted, chin slightly up. As you forward fold, you can round the spine once you get nose to toes or head to mat, wherever you fall. Inhale, look up. On your out breath, let's slowly come up. We'll take a nice twist here, a seated twist. So let's take both of our legs out. Now pull just your left knee in, left hand behind you, right arm up. Breathe in. Exhale, hook your elbow outside your right knee. Excuse me, that's your left knee, And we'll slowly twist back, look left. We're looking over our left shoulder. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Pull the right knee into your chest. Put your right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, find a twist and release here. So outside edge of your left elbow, outside edge of your right knee, look behind you. Keep lifted. Beautiful. Coming back to center, we'll lie all the way flat on our back for some finishing poses before Shavasana. Pull both your knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug. Extend your left leg up, right leg forward, nose to knee, chin to shin. Get super active here. You've worked really hard on your hamstrings, your glutes, and your hips today. Beautiful. Let's take our head down. Half happy baby. Right arm up. Goalpost the arm to facilitate a deeper opening in the rib cage. Bigger space for breath. Beautiful. Take this knee across the body. Look left. Coming back to center, extend your left leg, right leg up. Nose to knee, chin to shin. And then put your shoulders and your head down. Right hand outside of right foot. Pull it in for half happy baby. Keep your left hip point on the floor if you can. Knee to chest. Take a twist. Gaze right. And these floor stretches are gentle stretches that you can do every single day. They don't have to be complicated. You just have to weave them into your day. Beautiful. Come up, back up to center. Both feet up, waterfall pose, rejuvenation pose. And we'll slowly roll into our Shavasana. Shavasana today will be nice and long. We have a guided meditation coming up. I hope you stay tuned for that. And meditation is something that it's not easy. It's really hard. It's hard for me still. But the more you practice, the more, is useful. Shavasana. Let's get a pillow, maybe a blanket if you have one. I'll help you get set up. So I use a bolster. A pillow will also do. If you have a block or a big textbook, textbooks always come in pretty handy for these finishing poses in yoga. And you would just take a pillow over a book or a block. And if you want the links to this, fancy yoga stuff, I'm more than happy to provide, but you don't need it. Base of your spine comes to the base of the pillow or the bolster. And we are just finding a space that feels really open and good. So don't make it too complicated. If you lay down and you're like, this feels terrible, then that's not where you need to be. So we're just finding some space here to open up through the heart, maybe even the hips. My hips feel best when my knees are together and my feet are apart in this pose specifically. Okay, that's option one. If that feels not so good to you, I invite you to take the pillow underneath your knees. And you can take a block or a book to your middle back. And again, you just have to figure out, oh, that feels good. Figure out where feels best for you. If you don't want the block, or if midway through you're like, that feels terrible, or it's starting to get uncomfortable, you can always ditch the block. For me though, this feels really nice. And I invite you, when you find that space, ask yourself, is this the most love I can offer my body right now? And if the answer is no, then you need to move. Maybe take the block away and see how that serves you. All right, so once you're set up, nowhere to go, nothing to do, breathe and rest. The meditation will start now and then the practice will have ended. All my love, all my light, namaste. Please stay tuned for the meditation. It begins.
During this breathing meditation, you will focus on your breath. This will calm your mind and relax your body. Now, there is no right or wrong way to meditate. Whatever you experience during this breathing meditation is right for you. Don't try to make anything happen. Simply observe. You are the quiet observer behind the thought, behind the emotion, and essentially behind the action. So begin by finding a comfortable position, one in which you will not fall asleep. Sitting on the floor with your legs crossed is a good position to try. and I'll give you a moment to get there. And trust whatever position you found was the one where you were meant to be. Close your eyes or focus on one spot in the room. Roll your shoulders slowly forward and then slowly back. Lean your head from side to side, lowering your left ear towards your left shoulder, and then your right ear towards your right shoulder. Relax your muscles. Relax any place in the body that came to this meditation tense, tight, or tired. Your body will continue to relax as you meditate. You don't have to try so hard. Let it be really simple. Observe your breathing. Simply notice how your breath flows in and out. Make no effort to change your breathing in any way. Simply notice how your body breathes. Your body knows how much air it needs. Sit quietly, seeing in your mind's eye your breath flowing gently in and gently out of the body. When your attention wanders, as it will, just focus back again on your breathing. Notice any stray thoughts, but don't dwell on them. Simply let the thoughts pass. See how your breath continues to flow deeply, calmly, fluidly. Now invite the stages of a complete breath to come in. From the in-breath to the pause that follows, and then the exhalation. And another pause before taking the next breath. See the slight breaks between each breath. Feel the air entering through your nose. Picture the breath flowing through the cavities in your sinuses and then down to your lungs. As thoughts intrude, allow them to pass and return your attention to your breathing. Give yourself time here to return all attention to your breathing. See the air inside your body after you inhale, filling your body gently with air. Notice how the space inside your lungs becomes smaller after you exhale and the air leaves your body. Feel your chest and stomach gently rise and fall with each breath. And now as you inhale, count silently. 1. And as you exhale, count silently again. 1. Wait for the next breath and again count. 2. Exhale. 2. Inhale. 3. Exhale. 3. Continue to count each inhalation and exhalation as 1, 2, 3, until you get to 10. Notice how your body feels. Give yourself space here to count from 1 to 10, giving each round of breath one number. Notice now how your body feels. Notice how calm and gentle your breathing is, and how relaxed your body is. Now it is time to gently reawaken your body and mind, keeping your eyes closed. Notice the sounds around you. Feel the floor. Feel your clothes against your skin. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take your shoulders up by your ears and then gently take them down. Opening your eyes, remain seated for a few moments longer and move in a way that feels organic to you. Maybe you stretch your arms, you stretch your legs, you roll your neck, turn your chin to each shoulder, and sit for a few moments enjoying how relaxed you feel, experiencing your body maybe for the first time today, reawakened, alert. Slowly return to a standing position and continue on with the rest of your day or evening or maybe morning. You are now re-energized. You can do hard things, and your struggle does not equate to your failure. Know that this is always available to you. And you don't really need the help of anybody to get here, although sometimes it does help to have a guide to hold your hand. But know that your breath is just an inhalation away to the present moment. All my love, all my blessings, and all my light. Thank you for joining me today for this beautiful, short meditation. Namaste.